chilly. Oh, the blankets came from downstairs. Okay. Hi, how are you? Do you hear music? I don't hear any music. Hello. Good, how are you? Yeah. Okay. Oh, great. You're great there, yeah. They're being washed. Yeah. We're not using blankets today. Yeah, getting a good fall cleaning. We'll start in a couple minutes, y'all. Just waiting for the last few folks to trickle in. But we'll use all the props available. The blankets are gone for their cleaning, so they should be back very soon. But I think there might be some downstairs. If you really would like one, there's some downstairs in Larry's cabinets. Everything got tucked away, so you're more than welcome to grab one if you need one. But double folding the mat or bolster if you want some extra cushioning is always a great idea. But blocks, therapy balls, we'll do some rolling, and a strap for use. And we'll start very soon. Oh, yay, everyone's here. Great. Okay, good to see you guys. Happy Monday. We're making it through. How are we feeling? Good? Great. Is it ever going to rain again? I keep looking to see if it's going to rain, but it feels like it hasn't in a while. Wednesday. Okay, good to know. We're in September. Fall is coming. but we're in the middle of our Storytime series. So from now, for the whole month of September, I've been sharing stories about one of the great lords of yoga, because it was his birthday on September 6th and 7th. And he has a whole bunch of adventures and things that he gets into that tie in really sweet to our practice. But before we start, we're so lucky to have Kaushika with us each and every week. So she just finished teacher training the way that class, most of you know, but for those of us that are new to each other, I practice from the mat so people at home have a visual, and she'll be walking around. If you have any questions or you need any prop support or have anything you'd like to offer, please feel free to use her as a resource, because there's so much wisdom in there to be used. But that's how that's going to look. So the past 2 weeks, he's peppered all throughout. His deity is here. There's another one over there. You might look downstairs and see him trickling around throughout the studio. But this is the god with the head of a giant elephant, the body of a baby boy named Ganesh or Ganpati. And he's known, and I always like to point out, because I'm always the one that bonks into him, but his stuffed animal is on the camera, because the camera is always at head height, and inevitably I'm the one that's hitting it. And he's known to be the remover of obstacles. So we put him on the camera to remove the obstacle of the camera, but 90% of the time it works. There's always a 10% chance, which I'll take those odds. But over the past 2 weeks, I've told stories about his origin, how he came to being, what he kind of represents. And today is the story about his vehicle that he rides on the back of on. So each of the gods and goddesses have a vehicle that they're associated with. It's most often an animal. And Shiva, the great lord of yoga, he's associated with Nandi, the cow, who accompanies him all throughout the universes that he travels. Durga, the warrior goddess, we do her stories all next month because that's her holiday. She rides on the back of a lion or a tiger. So these animals that they surround themselves with are of great significance and importance. And the sweet thing about Ganesh is, despite his size, he's large in size, takes up thresholds, doorways. He rides on the back of a tiny little mouse or a rat. And I know, it was also not lost on me that on NPR they were talking about the rat problem in New York. Did anyone catch that glimmer and the ways that they're trying? Yeah, I was like, I know they're smart and good and do things for us, but I only like them in mythological stories. So the story goes of how the rat came to being. Like, why does this great lord have a tiny little vehicle that he rides on the back of? Hundreds and thousands of years ago, once upon a time, there was a giant rodent named Cruncha, and he went through farms and lands and was, because of his size, was just destroying everything that he was coming upon. And so as a result, Ganesh came up to him and was like, you can't do this. People need their farmlands, people need their food, people need their sustenance. So I'm going to softly punish you, which means I'm going to change your size from this large rodent to something very small, and you'll accompany me to every path that I'm on. And what ends up happening is that Cruncha realized that he can't support the weight of Ganesh, so he asks for another gift, which is, can you make me a little bit lighter so that I can carry you and move through places I need to move through? So I remember, we're going to start practicing in a moment, but I remember when I came to class with Mariel in February of 2020, like, who even knows when that was? And it was the Lunar New Year of the rat. Was anyone here practicing? Okay. And the one fact that I never wanted to know about rats or mice, but is now burned into my brain, is they can fit through anything that their head fits through. So if their head can fit through a size, they're going through it, which is a very admirable quality to have. Not one that I want, but flexible skulls. Yeah. Insanely scary and helpful, thinking of them from far away. But I bring this up in our yoga practice because when Ganesh would ride on the back of the mouse, he would kind of shapeshift to the size of the mouse, so Ganesh himself would be able to get through the tiniest of places that he normally wouldn't be able to. And so why am I telling you this story now? We're going to do a bunch of binds and a bunch of twists, and they inherently in our practice make us smaller than we already are. We're requiring ourselves to twist around ourselves, to wrap around ourselves. And just as Ganesh had the vehicle of the mouse, you as the yogi, your vehicle is the power of your breath. It gets you through the tightest of scenarios, the seemingly impossible, and lets you find more space than there ordinarily was. So we'll see where it takes us today as we practice. Your breath as the mouse, the metaphor for life, or the metaphor for today's class. But take breaks, sip lots of water. I'll turn the fans on as we start to get warmer, but we bind ourselves to see where we go. So let's start. Also for disclaimer, is that the month of September, October, November, and December are just chatty months for me in the beginning of class because there's a lot of great things that are great stories to tell. So I say this each time, but I take no offense if a long spiel in the beginning of class isn't your thing. There's a great class after, there's great classes tomorrow. The whole schedule is stacked with a lot of great teachers who'll get you right into practice sooner than I do, but we'll get to moving in a moment. So when you're ready, let's start together in a comfortable seat, however that looks. You're definitely more than welcome to start lying down. You can start cross-legged, you might start seated on your knees. If you want to sit up on a prop or two to give your hips some extra height, please feel free to do so. But as you close or let your eyes soften, begin to listen for your breath. When we close our eyes, it gives us a moment to see ourselves more clearly than before. To let each one of those gentle breaths dissolve the morning that was. Each breath lets you arrive to where you are now. And each breath that comes after makes space for what has yet to come. So as you take this time to notice your breath, can you see its natural tendencies, where it prefers to be in your body, the cool air as it comes in through the nose, and the warmth that you create as you offer that breath out. And now the more you notice your breath, let it slowly begin to deepen, letting each inhale move from the nose, down into your belly and up into your heart. And as you exhale, offer the breath up and out through the very top of your head, creating more space for more breath. Continue with a few more of those breaths, just on your own, letting each breath move in, down, and wide. And as you exhale, can you offer the breath back, down, and out into the earth, and up and out in each direction of you. Let's start our time here with each other with 3 more rounds of that same breath. Take a moment to place your hands to anywhere that feels like center for you, on your body or in front of your heart in that moment of self-reverence. If your hands are in Anjali Mudra, you might pull your thumbs back to touch your heart as you lift your heart up into your thumbs. Wait for your next inhale as it fills you up completely, and exhale to offer that breath out. 2 more times on your own. At the bottom of your breath, pause for a moment. Take notice of any difference that comes when you listen for and really remember your breath. And now, keeping that attention as best as you can, let your hands slowly release. Blink your eyes open. If you're seated, let's stay seated for a moment longer. You might switch which shin or ankle is on top to mix it up. And we'll take a few rounds of pranayama, this alternate nostril breathing, to begin. So you can keep one hand on your lap. I'm going to bring right hand and right thumb to the right nostril. Middle 2 fingers will come in between the eyebrows, and the ring finger can rest on the left nostril. Just let both nostrils be open as you grow the spine tall, and exhale through the nose once again. You're more than welcome to keep your breath full and steady with both nostrils open. Or when the time comes, close the left, slow inhale through the right, Close the right and exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Close the left and slow exhale through the right. That's one round. We'll take 3 more following your breath more than my voice. As you inhale, let the spine grow tall. As you exhale, let the spine grow tall as the shoulders and jaw soften. This alternate nostril breathing. Just taking notice of any difference between the right and the left side. Letting that right, that masculine divine energy, that more solar, and the left, the more feminine divine, the more lunar, come more or less into equilibrium. Continue following your breath. Take breaks when you need. And as you inhale, can you picture the breath going not just to the nose, but the space in between your eyebrows? And the exhale offers itself out. When you finish your exhale through the right nostril, let the eyes stay soft and no rush. Gently release your hand back down to your lap. And once the hand releases, take a breath in through both nostrils. Fill your belly and up into your heart. And exhale through the nostrils again as the very top of your head grows taller to the sky. Now keep that connection to your breath as you blink your eyes open, come forward to tabletop, and let's start to link breath and movement together with some rounds of cat and cow. We'll do that Nadi Shodhana again at the end of class and just see if there's any difference created. So for today's table, bring your hands as wide as your mat and slightly a handprint forward of your shoulders. Take up some extra space. Tuck all 10 of your toes under. And now begin to round and arch your spine through a few rounds of cat and cow. With your hands wider, with your hands slightly forward, can you feel your fingertips heavy on the earth? And just notice as you round and arch your spine what the space in between your shoulder blades feels like, and send your breath into the back of your heart. Take another round or two. Feel free to stay rounded or arched for those extra breaths. Maybe you take a few breaths in child's pose and letting your shoulders come forward over your wrists. But just see what this vehicle of your breath feels like as you link it to the movement in your body. Find your way back to table, come to your neutral spine. And now watch for your friends and any props behind you as we come in for a calf stretch. Reach the right leg back, tuck the right toes under, and reach through the right heel. As that heel goes back, can you slide the very top of your head forward so you grow longer in all 4 sides of your neck? Take a bigger breath in, and on your exhale, switch sides, bend your right knee and stretch back through the left. Think heel back, and even if your eyes are closed, very bottom of your heart forward to grow longer. A bigger breath in, and a deeper breath out. Then find your way back to table, your neutral spine. Walk your hands another handprint forward of your shoulders, keep them wide. Bring your knees back behind your hips. And as you tuck all 10 of your toes under, we'll meet in downward facing dog. Take as much time or as many breaths as you'd like to find your way there. In your down dog, feel free to stay still. You might pedal your heels out one at a time. But can you find that fullness of your breath just as you did a moment ago when you were seated? A longer breath in. And a clear, steady breath out. Now stay in your down dog for a moment longer. Push your right palm down and forward and let your left heel get heavier to the floor. Feel that diagonal line of energy. And now push your left palm down and forward. Feel your right heel get heavier. And notice what you feel, almost making this invisible X in the middle of your mat. Now push both palms down and forward. Lift your hips to the sky. And let your heels get heavier to the earth as you take one more breath in and a longer breath out. And now lift the heels, soften your knees, look forward, and 1 foot at a time, walk your feet up towards your hands to come into your forward fold. Take anything you need. Maybe you widen your feet, perhaps you soften your knees, maybe you bring blocks underneath your hands like I love to do. But as you bow in towards yourself, take a deeper breath in and a longer breath out. And now climb your hands up to your hips, stand through your legs, and an inhale to come all the way to rise as you release your hands. With your feet under your hips, wait for the next breath in to reach the arms forward and up. And on your exhale, soften your knees to fold over your legs. Slow inhale to come up halfway, grow long through your spine. And on your exhale, take it back to plank pose, the top of your push-ups. With the knees up or down, press the floor away from you. Think tush, tailbone towards your heels, and slide the heart forward. Take a big breath in, and exhale to bend your elbows to lower all the way to your belly. Hands nice and wide as your mat as you inhale, rise for baby cobra or cobra. And on your exhale, we'll meet in downward facing dog or table or puppy pose for 3 steady breaths. As we make our way into a practice of twists and binds with some twists. That vehicle of your breath, just like Ganesh had the mouse, it's your most powerful tool to get you in and through the seemingly impossible. So as you listen for the next inhale, fill the belly and fill up into the heart. And on your exhale, push through your palms to lift your hips up and back to the wall behind. Now when you find your next exhale, take the time, lift the heels, soften your knees, peek forward to come forward to the top of your mat. Inhale to come up halfway, reach the heart forward. And big exhale to fold, bowing in. Take a long breath in to rise. Stand through your legs, touch the sky, get a drop taller. And exhale to bring the hands down by your sides. One more time, really follow your breath more than the sound of my voice. Inhale to reach up. As you exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Slow breath in brings you halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale to meet in plank pose. A full cycle of breath in. And on your exhale, lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Wait for the breath to rise, Bhujangasana, Cobra. And on your exhale, down dog, or table, or puppy pose. 3 more breaths. Slow down the next breath in. And each exhale, really pour the breath out through every direction, every fiber of you. As you inhale, can you stay steady, but hug your palms towards each other from right to left. Feel the energy run up into the back of the shoulder blades. And then from there, push through the floor to lift your hips up and back to the wall behind. Now when you find your next breath, lift your heels high, soften your knees, look forward, and come forward to the top of your mat. Inhale to come up halfway to lengthen. On your exhale, fold as you bow into yourself. Take a long breath in to rise. Stand through your legs, touch the sky, get taller. And exhale to bring the hands down by your sides. With your feet under your hips, inhale to reach the arms up. Grab your right wrist, grow 1 inch taller, and tip to the left for standing crescent. You might let your hips move 1 inch or 2 over to the right, but as you tip to the left, can your left hip point more to the top of your mat? The left shoulder point more to the top of your mat as you slide the ears back to lift your chin. Now inhale to come all the way back up. Take a breath as you switch the wrists, grow tall through the left hand, and then tip to the right for the second side. My right hip and right shoulder always want to move back. Can you slide the right side of your waist more forward to face the front of your mat? But press the ears back to lift your chin, and then maybe slide your arms back in line with your ears. Inhale to come all the way back up. Touch the sky, get tall. And as you exhale, fold and bow in. Keep your right foot forward, step your left foot all the way back to catch your lunge. And now come up onto your fingertips or blocks on either side of that right foot. With your left hand down on the ground, climb your right palm up onto your right thigh as we start to twist open to the right. Hug the right shoulder up and back. As you lean back, stay here or maybe reach the right arm up to the sky, but take a big breath in through the nose. Stay for the exhale, let your belly turn to the right thigh as you bend into the right leg. Take 1 more big breath in. Stay for the exhale, slide the ears and the throat back. And then inhale to unwind, lower the hands. We'll step it forward, all the hops you need for the left foot to meet the right. Inhale to come up halfway, grow long. On your exhale, fold and bow in. Second side, left foot forward, step the right foot back to catch your lunge. Bring your right hand onto the block or onto the ground as your left hand comes to the left thigh. Tack your left hip back, shrug your left shoulder up and back as you turn open to the left. Maybe your hand stays on your hip or you reach the left arm to the ceiling. But take a big breath in. Stay for the exhale. Let your heart turn to the left as you bend into that left thigh. Take one more big breath in. Fill the belly, fill the back of your chest, and stay as you exhale. On your inhale, unwind, lower the hands to the ground. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Step the left foot back to meet your right. Pedal the heels one at a time. Take a breath to notice what you feel. And now inhale brings you forward to plank pose. On your exhale, lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Wait for the inhale to rise for Cobra. Hug the shoulder blades together. And let your whole exhale take you back to downward facing dog. On the next breath in, no rush, float the right leg up and back. Step it through to catch your lunge. Spin your back heel to the ground and come up to rise for warrior two, arms to a T as you face the long edge of your mat. Let the right toes and the right knee point ahead to the front of the room. And as you look away from the ground, reach out through the fingertips. Take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale and bend one more inch into that front leg. Now let's add the arms. As you inhale, just reach your arms to the sky. Bend your right elbow, pat yourself on the back, and let the left fingertips hold on. Think elbow to the ceiling as you press your head back to lift your chin. You can stay here. We've done a side stretch already. If you'd like to slowly tip up and back to the back of your mat, you can. But take a big breath in and down. Stay for your exhale. Bend into that right thigh as you press your head back into that right arm. Now inhale to come up through center. Bring your arms to a T and press the right leg straight. Turn the right toes to face the long edge of your mat. There should be plenty of room, but if you feel like when you fold, you're gonna hit a tush, stagger slightly with your friends, but hinge at your hips as you fold over your legs. Now lean a little forward and back into the balls of your feet and your heels, and try to find an even place, not just in the heels and not just in the balls of your feet. As you hug your legs in towards each other, feel the inner thighs engage. Take a bigger breath in and a longer breath out as you soften your elbows to bow into yourself. Take one more long, steady breath in and a deeper breath out. And now head can stay heavy as you turn the right knee and toes to catch your lunge. Frame out the right foot and step it back to downward facing dog. Pedal your heels, take a breath or two, and just a few more times together. Inhale through to plank pose. As you exhale, lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Slow breath in to rise, Cobra. Can you press your feet down into the earth to grow longer? And on your exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. A slow breath in and a clear breath out through every direction. And now when you find your next inhale, lift the left leg up. Step it through to catch your lunge. Pivot your back heel to the earth. And on your breath in, rise, Virabhadrasana 2. Let the left knee and the left toes point ahead. And as you look away from the ground and reach out through the fingertips, offer it to your breath. Take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale and bend into that front thigh. Now with the arms, reach the arms up to the sky. Bend your left elbow, give yourself a pat on the back. Let the right fingertips hold on to the elbow. Lift the elbow to the ceiling. Press your head back to lift your chin and slide the ribs back to steady the middle of your back. Stay here. If you did so on side one, you might tip up and back towards the back of the room. But a bigger breath in. Stay for the exhale. Bend one more inch into that front thigh. And now inhale to come up through center. Release your arms to a T and press the left leg straight. Turn the left toes to face the long edge of your mat. For the first of our binds, I'm going to grab a strap to hold in between my hands at my low back, or you can interlace your fingers, bring the webbing of your hands together. But start with your elbows very bent. Hug your shoulder blades together. Lift up through the chest. Take a big breath in. And on your exhale, hinge at your hips, fold as you reach your arms up to the sky. Now take notice of if anything locks out. My knees and elbows lock, so tiny bend in the knees. You might not see it, but you can feel it. Tiny bend in your elbows, and now tug your strap apart, tug your fingers apart to bring the shoulder blades closer together on the back. Take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale. Maybe your arms reach overhead towards the long edge of your mat. And then inhale to release those arms back to your tush. You can ditch your strap if you have it. Turn the left knee and toes to catch your lunge. Take it back to downward facing dog. Pedal the heels one at a time and notice what you feel and see. And now from your down dog, lift the heels high, soften your knees, look forward, and come forward to the top of your mat, your standing forward fold. Inhale to come up halfway to lengthen. As you exhale, fold to bow into yourself. Take a deep breath in to rise. Stand through your legs, touch the sky, and exhale to bring the hands down by your sides. Nice. Bring your feet hip-width distance apart. Bend your knees, sit your hips back into chair pose. We'll add some twists here. So as the butt goes back, push into the thighs to lift your chest. And now bring your hands to the front of your heart. Pull your thumbs back to your chest, lift your heart up into your hands. And now right elbow to the right thigh. Same elbow, same thigh as you twist to the left. As you push your elbow into your thigh into elbow, let the belly button turn to the left-hand side. And now notice my hips want to swing with me to the left. Lean your butt to the right. Turn the belly and chest to the left as you slide the ears back. Take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale. Sit 1 inch lower to the earth. And now inhale to unwind, come up through center, last side, left elbow to the inside of your left thigh. Create some resistance, push your left thigh into the left elbow. Let that turn the belly open to the right. And now notice if those hips are swaying with you to the brick wall. Lean and move your hips over to the left. Turn the belly and chest to the right and press the ears back as you sit 1 inch lower to the ground. Now inhale to come all the way back up, reach up, touch the sky, get tall. On your exhale, fold and bow in. Keep your right foot forward, step your left foot all the way back to catch your lunge one more time. And now squeegee your left toes back another inch or two so you get longer. We'll come towards pyramid pose with your fingertips on the ground or blocks. Push the right leg straight to move towards this version of Pursvottanasana. Now lift your back, left heel higher up off the ground. And as you push through the left foot, can you wrap your left hip forward and make space to tack the right hip back, hopefully feeling sensation in the back of your right thigh. Now push into the floor or the blocks as you inhale, come up halfway to lengthen. Keep your left hand steady on the ground or block and bring your right hand to your right hip. Tack your right hip back. Shrug the right shoulder up and back, and for this version of revolved triangle, start to turn your belly open to the right. If you want to come higher up onto the block, it'll give you lots of space, but stay here or maybe reach the right arm to the ceiling. But a big breath in. Stay for your exhale, think right hip back as you lean back against yourself. And now inhale to unwind, lower the hands to the ground, bend your right knee, and step it forward to your standing forward fold. Inhale to come up halfway. Notice any difference from side to side. And as you exhale, fold and bow in. Second side, left foot forward. Step your right foot back to catch your lunge. Squeegee the right toes back another inch or two. And as you press that left leg straight for pyramid pose, take notice of what you feel. Now, in different forms of yoga, in pyramid, the back heel is down on the ground, but I find when my back heel is down, my hips open up to the right, and I don't feel it in my left thigh. So when I lift the right heel higher and wrap the right hip forward so the left hip can tack back, it creates space in the back of the left thigh. Inhale to come up halfway to lengthen, reach the chest long. And now keep your right palm steady as your left hand comes to your left hip or low back. Shrug your left shoulder to the ear, hug the left shoulder blade to the spine, and from your belly button, twist to the left. Think outer left hip back as you press your left big toe down into the ground, nice. And then lean back, maybe the left arm reaches to the ceiling. Bigger breath in, and a longer breath out. And now inhale to unwind yourself. Lower the hands, bend your left knee, take it back to downward facing dog, and notice what you feel from one side to the other. On your next inhale, come forward to plank pose. Exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. And now make a pillow with your hands. Rest on your forehead or on one of your cheeks. And just feel gravity beneath you as you listen for your breath. Can you feel the full breath in your belly and let the lowest part of your back broaden with breath? Breathe into your chest and let the upper back, the back of your heart, broaden. And as you listen once again for that vehicle of your breath, take a deeper breath in and a longer breath out. Okay, we'll come in for a thigh stretch next here on the ground. So prop yourself up onto your forearms. Bring your elbows under your shoulders as your arms reach out in front of you for this version of Sphinx pose. Feel your palms heavy, and now with your left hand down, bend your right knee and lift your right toes up off the earth. Your left hand stays down as your right hand reaches out and around to hold the right foot. If this doesn't feel great on the low back, you can always make a pillow with your left palm and let the forehead rest. We're trying to feel this in the right thigh. But wherever you are, on the forearm or on your palm, hug your thighs towards each other. Hug the right thigh towards your left. And now shrug the left shoulder up and back. Take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale as you offer that breath out. And then inhale to slowly release the hold of your leg. Take a breath as you switch sides, either right forearm down or make a pillow with your right hand. And now bend your left knee and reach your left hand out and around to hold the left foot. Good. In this version, my thighs always open up to the edges of the mat, which might create some tenderness in the low back. So really hug your inner thighs towards each other. Shrug your left shoulder up and back. And as you draw your left heel towards your left tush, they don't have to be anywhere near each other. Take a bigger breath in and a longer breath out. On your next inhale, unwind, release the hands. Come on to table, bring your hands to either side of your chest. Press your way up through to tabletop. You can sit back onto your heels, sip some water. Take a breath. Kashika, sweetly turn the fans on where they needed. There's method to the warmness. We're getting ourselves warm to cool ourselves down. Okay, before we come back up to stand, we'll do a few things on the hands and knees. So I know we don't have blankets. If you want some extra cushioning, you can always double fold your mat over to give you some extra padding, but we'll only be here for a little bit. But when you're ready, find your way to all fours. Come to tabletop. Like we did in the first one, bring your hands as wide as your mat. This will help the foundation. And spread your fingers. Now tuck all 10 of your toes under as you stretch the right leg back like we did in the calf stretch. Look towards the fingertips or look towards the top of your mat. And now lift the right foot up off the ground. Notice when you lift the right foot, does the belly and ribs drop like mine do? Lift the ribs up to the sky. Hug the right thigh to the middle of your mat. And now bend your right knee as you flex the right foot towards the ceiling. You can stay right here, or you might tent up onto your left fingertips and play with a little asymmetry. As you look forward towards the top of your mat, maybe your left hand reaches out and around to hold on to the right foot. I like to look down to help with balance, but as you hug your right thigh to the middle of your mat, shrug your left shoulder up and back, and then maybe you push your foot back into your hand, lift the right heel up, and turn your belly and chest open to the left. Take one more breath in, stay for your exhale, and then inhale to release arm and knee to the earth as you take it back to tabletop. Take a breath or two in stillness or a breath or two in cat and cow, and notice what you feel and see. Twisted half bow. Let's do the other side. When you're ready, come back to table and we'll build it from the ground up. So when your hands are as wide as your mat, it gives you more steadiness in the ground beneath you. Stretch the left leg back, tuck the toes under. And now look towards your fingers or towards the front of the room to see where you're going. As you lift the left foot up, flex the foot, straighten the knee to start. Lift the belly and ribs towards the sky. And now bend your left knee as you flex the left foot towards the ceiling. Stay right here. You'll feel that work in the left hamstring. Or tent up onto your right fingertips to play with some asymmetry. Your right hand can stay down, or you might reach your right hand out and around to hold on to the left foot. Hug your left thigh an inch to the right. Shrug your right shoulder up and back. And as you push your foot back into your hand, lift the left heel up. Turn the belly and chest open to the right. One more breath in. Stay for your exhale. And then inhale to release the hold of your leg, lower hand and knee to the earth. And take a breath as you arrive. Nice. Walk your hands forward to the top of your mat. Walk your knees back behind your hips. And with the toes tucked under, we'll meet in downward facing dog. One more time, hips to the sky. All right, I promised twists. That was a twist with a bind. Now we're going to do them standing. Lift the right leg up and back. Step it through or around to catch your lunge. And one more time, pivot your hands and feet to the left to come into wide-legged forward fold. This time, do stagger with your friends if you feel like there's a tush close to your head, because we'll come up halfway. So on your next inhale, come up halfway to lengthen. You can be on fingertips or up on blocks, but with your left hand down, or right hand down on the ground, bring your left palm to your low back. Shrug your left shoulder to the ear, squeeze the left shoulder blade to the spine, and from your belly, twist to the back of your mat. And now notice if your hips are swaying with you, like mine always do. Can you lean your butt more to the front of the room? Turn the belly to the back of your mat, and then slide the ears back towards the front of the room. Stay here, or maybe reach that left arm up to the sky as you take a bigger breath in and a longer breath out. Now on your inhale, unwind. Lower the left hand. Turn the right knee and toes to catch your lunge. And as you inhale, we come up to high lunge. Reach the arms, the chest, and the torso to the sky. Good. Walk the right foot as much as you need over to the right so you're less on a balance beam. But lift that back thigh high. Stretch up through the arms and see if you can look away from the ground as you take a bigger breath in. And on your exhale, bend one more inch into that front thigh. Now hands come to your hips. We're coming to stand. Take all the hops you need to spring off of your left foot. Scoop the left thigh to the chest. Stay here, or you can let your left toes tap a block out in front of you, but interlace your hands in front of your left shin. Flex the left foot. Shrug your shoulders to the ears and hug the shoulder blades together. Now one more twist with your right hand holding the left shin. Bring your left palm to your low back, just like we did in that wide-legged forward fold. Shrug your left shoulder to the ear, hug the left shoulder blade to your spine, and from your belly, start to twist towards that left thigh. You can keep your left hand on your low back. It might reach towards the back of the room. Completely optional, your right hand might hold your left calf, your left ankle, or the pinky side edge of your left foot as you straighten your left leg towards the front of the room. But a bigger breath in and a longer breath out. And then on your inhale, unwind. Draw yourself back through center. Thread the left foot back to lunge. Take a big breath in, touch the sky. And on your exhale, downward facing dog. Woo! Take a breath. Notice what you feel. Notice what you see. Any questions? One more side. Okay, let's see what happens. Lift the left leg up and back. Step it through or around to catch your lunge. And now pivot your hands and feet over to the right for that wide-legged forward fold on the other side. Watch for the butts. Tiny bend in your knees. Hug your feet towards each other. And then inhale to come up halfway, grow long. Now keep your left hand down. Bring your right palm to your low back. Shrug the right shoulder to the ear. Hug the right shoulder blade to your spine, and from the belly button, twist to the back of the room. Think butt to the front of your mat. Think left inner thigh to the front of the room. Turn the belly and chest to the back of your mat, and then as you slide the ears back, stay here, or maybe reach the right arm to the sky. Take a bigger breath in. Stay for your exhale. And then inhale to unwind. Lower the right hand. Turn the left knee and toes to catch your lunge. And a slow, steady breath in brings you up to rise for high lunge on the second side. Walk the left foot as much as you need to the left, but find the steadiness through the back thigh. Lift up through the back heel, reach up through the arms, look away from the ground. Take a big breath in, and on your exhale, bend 1 more inch into that front thigh. Now spring off your back foot, scoop your right thigh up towards your chest, and interlace your hands in front of your right knee or shin. Flex the foot. Those right toes can always tap something solid out in front of you. But can you shrug your shoulders to your ears? Hug the shoulder blades together. Now 1 more twist. Left hand holds the right shin. Bring your right palm to your low back. You might look ahead to help steady you and start to look towards the right, but shrug the right shoulder up and back as you turn from your belly to the back of the room. Flex the right foot. Stay here, maybe reach the right arm towards the wall behind you. Completely optional to let your left hand hold the right calf, the right ankle, or the right pinky side edge of your foot as you extend it forward. But 1 more breath in. Stay for your exhale, and then inhale to unwind. Bend the right knee, thread the right foot back to lunge. Take a big breath in, touch the sky. And on your exhale, we meet again in downward facing dog. Whee! Pedal the heels. Notice what you see and feel. And now lower both knees to the ground. Sit onto your tush. Sip some water. Take a breath. Sprung those twists on you. Yeah? The idea, so sip some water, take a breath. We're going to do some seated work, then roll, and then go to sleep. So the idea of twists, the idea of binds, we're about to take another bind, is that, like I mentioned in the beginning of class, you're inherently getting smaller. Every time we twist around ourselves, and you'll see it from the front view, we did so many of these. Every time we twist around ourselves, you're creating less space in the belly itself. So the idea is, how can you find more length so that you can revolve even further around yourself more clearly? So we'll do 2 hip openers now, and then we'll work towards Crunchasana, the pose named after the rat. Because why not? Cruncha was the little rat, but the strap will be of great use. So for the first thing, let's come to seated figure 4. Bring your butt on the ground, bring your legs out in front of you, and your hands can come slightly behind to help you pitch back. Now lift your right foot and cross your right ankle over your left thigh for figure 4. Flex that right foot as firmly as you can. This will help steady the ankle and knee. And now push through your arms to lift the heart. There's plenty to do here. I invite you to stay and send your breath into that outer right hip. Only if you want something different, I'll give you some stages. You might scooch your hips towards that left heel as you lift your chest towards the right shin. Take a big breath in, down, and wide. Stay for your exhale as you grow your heart taller to the sky. And now 1 more option for Agni Stambhasana, or double pigeon. You might heel toe that bottom left foot over to the right and lower your left knee and shin down onto the ground. If you are in that double pigeon shape, check to see that the feet are flexed, especially that bottom foot. Now wherever you are in figure 4 or in that double pigeon, take a big breath in to grow taller. And now if you're seated and you'd like, you might hinge at your hips and fold over your legs as if your chin could hook over that right shin. In the next 10 lifetimes, that's not for me this time, but see how long you can get. Your breath is the most powerful tool you have available to you to get in and through the seemingly precarious, the tightest scenario in those hips and beyond. So as you take a bigger breath in, exhale to offer that breath out. Can you grow longer in each and every direction that you're in? Now, if you folded forward on your inhale, make your way back upright. Everyone slowly uncross your legs and bring both feet back to the earth. Let's take a few windshield wipers with your feet wide, knees wide, to clear space in the hips and low back. Okay, 1 more side, feet back through center. We got that left hip to do. Start in figure 4 as you flex the foot. And take a few breaths here. There's no rush. As you flex the foot and lift up through the chest, take a big breath in and exhale to offer that breath out. Now remember, hips can be very different, so please feel free to stay here. If you want, you might scooch your hips closer towards that right heel as you once again lift the chest. Take a full round of breath in and a deeper breath out. And if you'd like to try out that double pigeon fire log pose, you can walk your right foot to the left side of your mat, lower your right knee and shin to the earth as you flex through both feet. Now grow tall through the spine, take a big breath in. And if you're seated and you'd like to fold, once again, hinge at your hips as you bow in towards yourself. Try to soften the jaw, soften the tongue, anchor that left butt cheek down towards the earth as the crown of your head grows taller, either to the front of the room or up to the sky. Okay, if you folded forward, on your next inhale, come on back upright. Lean back so you can uncross your ankles. And one more time, a windshield wiper or two from side to side. Take a breath here. Okay, draw your knees and hips back through center, and I'll show you where we're going next because it's easier to see it, and then you get to decide where you'd like to be. After this, we lie down. So for Crunchasana, it's a big hamstring opener, and a bind is an option. So this first one, you get the choice in this bottom leg. It can be in this half butterfly shape, or if it feels okay for the knee and for the hip, it can be in that half hero's pose shape. Neither is a requirement, but if this doesn't feel good on the knee or hip, you'll come into that half hero shape. Now, first step will be bending this knee, using your hand to bring the strap or your fingertips around the bottom foot. And then you lift the shoulders up and back as you lean back. Now, the more you lean back, the more this leg might start to get lighter. And first thing, you want to draw the thigh towards your belly and lift up through the chest. Lots to do already. If you'd like to move the leg towards straight, you can move that leg towards straight. But the idea is, I didn't understand this until many years later, but instead of pulling the thigh close to your belly, you're trying to push the thigh away from your belly while you draw the shin towards your head. And they don't actually have to move in extremity, but the more the thigh comes towards your belly, the more tightness it might feel in this hip. So you want to picture thighs away from you, shin towards you, to feel it in the very back of the leg. If you're plenty to do, if you want to explore the variation where your hands hold the foot, let me do the other leg, will it happen? One hand wraps around while the other hand grabs onto it, and you extend this leg forward as you lean back. A bind and a hamstring opener. Yeah? We'll see where it takes us. This is where we want you to experience it, and lots of length through the chest. So the strap will be a very sweet friend. And I forgot to mention it, but I told this in the Ganesh stories. If you ever come up and look at the deity, he has 4 different hands, and in each one of his hands, he's holding something different. So is Shiva, so are all the gods and goddesses. And it's the more you learn about what he's holding and why he's seated, the more you learn aspects of yourself. So in one of his hands, he's holding the bashu, or the lasso, or the yoga strap, if we take the thread that way. And the idea is that if you think of a lasso or something like a rope, it's an object that brings things into perspective. It draws something closer to you so you can see the details. It also takes things further away from you so you can see the 3-dimensional view. So the strap is so much more than the strap. It gives you insight to see the details of what's happening within your own self and gives you the 3-dimensional view. So we love to use it if you want to use it. So let's try one on each side, and then we'll come to lay down. So bring your butt on the ground. And then you get the option, let's do right knee. Either right knee in that half butterfly shape, this will give you more access in the hip. And if the knee is feeling okay, you might bring the right knee into that half hero's pose. But the idea is we want both butt cheeks down on the ground. Bend your left knee, bring your left foot down on the floor, and give the left shin a hug as you grow tall through the spine. Plenty to do right here. You can stay here breathing. Or if you'd like, find your strap or your metaphorical lasso and bring it around the sole of your left foot. If you want to interlace your fingers underneath there, you can do that too. But shrug your shoulders up and back, lean back, and let the left heel get lighter. Now keep the knee bent for a moment, as much slack on the strap as you need. Pull the thigh toward your belly button as you lift your heart up to the sky. Stay here and breathe, or maybe that left leg moves towards straight. And now think, as you lean back, thigh away from your belly, create space in that left hip crease as you bend your elbows and draw the shin towards your face as you lift the heart. Take a big breath in, down, and wide. Stay for the exhale as you lean back and flex the foot to offer the breath out. Beautiful. And now inhale to release. Bend your left knee, lower the left foot to the earth, and switch sides. Questions? Great. Normally next week, if there's enough time, this one takes us into sundial pose too, Surya Yantrasana, a big side body stretch, but for another day. So with the left knee either in half hero's pose or half butterfly pose, bend your right knee, bring your right foot down, and give it a hug so you can get nice and tall. Take a breath here. You can stay here the whole time, or find your strap around the bottom of your right foot, or interlace your fingers. And as you lean back, lift the right heel up, flex the foot like you're trying to foot high five me, pull the thigh back towards your belly, push the foot into your strap, and if you'd like to straighten, move that right leg towards straight, up towards the sky. That's it. Thigh away from your belly button. Press the top of the thigh away from you. And as you press the top of the thigh away, draw the shin towards your heart and then lean back against yourself. A bigger breath in and a longer breath out. And then on your inhale with care, slowly draw your chest forward, bend the knee, lower both feet to the ground, and come to lie on your back with your heads facing up towards me, feet to the wall behind you. Have your therapy balls close by. I'll give you an option of things to roll. If you need therapy balls, you can call me or Kaushika over and we can bring you some. And you can clear all of the other props out of the way. Kaushika, you mind turning the lights off? Yeah. Once you're on your back, bring your feet nice and wide as your mat. Bend your knees, and then begin to windshield wiper your knees from side to side to clear space in and through the low back. Take full, steady breaths in. And long, clear exhales out. Let the belly be soft and full. Let the hips be soft and heavy here against the earth. And now after going back and forth evenly a few times, draw your knees back through center. I'll talk you through therapy balls in the glutes because we've done so much work in there today. But if there's any other region that you prefer, that you know, that you'd like to spend some time with, please feel free to work at your pace. But if you're doing therapy balls in the glutes, you take them out of their tote, bend your knees and bring your feet onto the earth. And now push through your feet just enough to lift your hips up and pop the therapy balls to the very top of your butt cheeks on either side of your tailbone. Again, no wrong place for them to go, just somewhere where you can be curious about, where you can send your breath to. And as you release your arms to anywhere they fall, take a big breath in and exhale through parted lips. Let all of that breath go. Now we'll start that gentle swivel of the hips. You can sway your hips to the right and let your knees move over to the left. Feel the therapy balls move towards your left tush. And then hips to the left as your knees move to the right. And now continue this swivel, this zigzagging of your hips and knees to feel those therapy balls moving along the space of the upper fibers of your tush. Take deeper breaths in and long exhales to let all of that breath go. Now after a few breaths at the top of your tush, draw your hips back through center and lower the therapy balls. Use your hands and bring them more to the middle of your butt cheeks on either side in the fleshiest space of the tush itself. You can start them pretty close together because eventually they'll get wider apart. But as your arms fall, anywhere they fall, take a big breath in. And on your exhale, begin that swivel again. Sway your hips to one side and knees to the other, and vice versa, so you feel those therapy balls moving along the middle of your tush. Try and open and close the mouth to let the jaw soften. Feel the space between your eyebrows widen. And what you'll feel is the more you sway your hips from side to side, the wider those therapy balls will become. And they'll end up more towards the outer seams and outer edges of your pants. Let them stay nice and wide as you draw your hips back through center. And then heel toe both feet over to the left side of your mat and drop just your right knee to the right to let that right therapy ball find its way into your outer right tush. Just like Ganesh had the mouse, you have your breath to get you in, through, and around the seemingly precarious, like a therapy ball in your outer right butt cheek. So notice, can you let the fist soften, the jaw soften, the tongue be heavy? And as you draw the right knee and the foot back through center, walk both feet back through center. One last side, walk them over to the right, and drop just your left knee to the left to let that left therapy ball find its way into your outer left hip. A big breath in. And even open your mouth to let that breath go. Take one more full, steady breath in, and a full, clear exhale out through every fiber of you. Now, as you draw your left knee and foot back through center, use your hands to pop the therapy balls out, and just let the weight of your butt drop back down to the ground. Take notice of what you don't see with your eyes necessarily, but you can so clearly feel. And now you can be here. You might hug your knees in towards your chest, or make some small circles, or come towards happy baby. But just feel any difference from one leg to the other as you let the back of your head and your tush soften to the ground. And now the next place we'll meet is in Shavasana, in your rest. So give yourself a few moments to add or remove any layers or props. You might let your hair down or let your glasses set safely off to the side. We'll be here for a few moments, draped against the earth. So take anything that you need to become even 1% more comfortable than you are already. We started class with that alternate nostril breathing, that Nadi Shodhana. And we'll explore it here without the use of your hands. You're more than welcome to simply listen, but follow along at your pace. Can you take a breath in through the nose? Let your belly and heart expand. And exhale through both nostrils once again as you soften towards the earth. Now, can you just picture the breath traveling in through the right nostril, filling up to in between the eyebrows, and exhale the breath through the left nostril. Notice the breath as it comes in through just the left nostril. And exhale through the right as you soften into the earth. Feel that cyclical breath at your pace for 2 more cycles. Inhale through the right. And as you exhale, visualize the breath moving through the left. When you inhale through the left, let it travel up in between the eyebrows. Exhale through the right as you pour that breath out. One more round. Inhale through the right. Exhale through your left. Feel the breath as it moves in through the left. And slow exhale through the right. Now let the breath move in through both nostrils. Fill the belly, the heart up into the crown of your head. And on your breath out, let every ounce of that breath go. Let the slow, steady cadence of your breath let you become heavier against the earth. And it's here where each breath dissolves the practice that was. Each breath lets you arrive to where you are now. And each breath that comes after makes more space for what has yet to come. Can you let every round of your breath let you become heavier into the earth? And the heavier you let yourself become, the more expansive, the more spacious, the lighter you may just begin to feel. Begin to deepen your breath. Take a longer breath in and a sweeter breath out. Take another breath in, down and wide. And as you exhale, offer all of that breath out. Let your breath begin to awaken the body that you're in and the being that you are with any gentle movement that feels good to you. You might roll your wrists or ankles in one or the other direction. Perhaps you tip your head from side to side, heavy against the ground. You might reach your arms away from your legs or draw your knees in towards your chest. But when the time comes, we'll all meet with the knees bent, arms overhead, as you roll over to any side of your choice to curl into yourself. You can push down into the ground and take your time to rise to a tall seat, the same way we began. With those eyes softly closed or softly open, can you listen for that vehicle of your breath? Take a deep breath in and down. Let it fill you up. And exhale to offer the breath up and out in each direction. Our time together will finish with one more of those breaths. You can place your hands to anywhere that feels like center for you. Take a deep breath in to let it all go. You might bow your head to your hands or lift your hands to your head in such a simple yet sweet gesture of self-reverence, bowing to yourself and to one another who practice right alongside next to you. And with all of our hearts, Kaushika and I bow to each and every one of you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Great work. Drink lots of water. Enjoy this beautiful weather. 2 more weeks of story time. Just a little longer in the beginning of class, but we get to it all. Few announcements from the studio. I've been teaching the free classes at the Art Museum on Saturday mornings. They're at 9. They're in the Sculpture Garden, and they have been so lovely. So if you're free and you get $10 off to the museum with it, it's just such a beautiful place to practice. People from here are coming and biking, and so it's nice to see familiar faces. So if you're free, there's 2 more Saturdays I'm doing it. My beloved Adriana and I start Immersion next Friday, where it'll be lots of mythology, storytelling, and so much goodness. So if you have questions about any of that, we love to talk. Elizabeth's here, not to put her on blast, but is doing a workshop here on October 13th, sound bath meditation. So I heard the last one went beautifully. Yes, and so if you're available, you should come. And not to double book you on that day, but if you do happen to find yourself in West Philly, my dad is putting on a musical performance. He will be playing the tabla, the Indian drums, and the flute, and his friend will be playing the harmonium and singing classical Indian songs and Bollywood songs. That's all I know. I'm just inviting the peoples. There's no obligation. I think it's at 5 or 5:30. I'll know next week. Yeah. It'll be cute. By next week, or I'll definitely know sooner. It's on the Studio 34 website, or on their Instagram. Thank you, yeah. Or on their Instagram. It's like on their events page. Yeah. Bye. Anyone else have announcements? Things? Worlds? Lives? Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. We didn't do half moon. I'm so sorry. I forgot. We didn't do half moon. We just did twists until eternity. You want to turn it off?
Yeah.
Okay, so you go to this one.